Today we're going to do a unboxing, setup, and first use video of a Brinly made in the USA lawn dethatcher. There's some information about it. Pause the video, check it out. The reason you want to dethatch your lawn is so water, fertilizer, seeds could go down into the soil without that mat of thatch that builds up over the winter time. Okay, sit back, relax, and let's get at it. Being that it was American made, we have this very good packaging. Nothing bouncing around. This is how it looks when you open it up. Got your instructions, got the whole setup, got your hardware kit. Very detailed in the labeling. I'll show you when I take it out. Okay? First thing you do whenever you get anything is make sure everything is in the box. This is all parts needed. There's your instruction manual. There's your parts that shows you where every single thing goes. Now I'll show you how to set it up. Tools needed to set up the dethatcher. 2 3/4 wrenches, or a wrench and a socket and ratchet. 2 1/2-inch wrenches, or a wrench and a 1/2-inch socket and ratchet. 7/16 wrench. First thing you're going to want to do is lay the main unit with the tines pointing towards you. You have a label on this side and you have a label on that side. You want those directed towards you. Take your tow bars, right? This is what these are called, with this shape. Okay? You have a bracket right here, a bracket in the back. With the unit facing you, you want the tow bar to go in this orientation. This is the bracket, this is the bar. So you want the bar to the left of this bracket and to the right of this bracket here. On the right side, you want the bar inside the bracket and down here, outside of the bracket. Being that this is the first step, you're gonna use the hardware from panel 1A, okay? You got your heck nuts, lock washers, 4 bolts, and flat washers, okay? You're gonna open just this packet up right here, take out your hardware, and I'll show you where it goes. You're gonna come in from the inside to the out. So bracket side with a bolt, there's your arm, lock washer, and nut. That's toward the front. Toward the back, you're gonna come from the outside in. Bolt with a flat washer, lock washer, and the nut, okay? So you're going out this way, in this way. This bracket has, this arm has holes. Back hole goes to the back bracket. Next one that lines up will be the next hole, okay? That should leave it loose for now. You're gonna tighten everything up when I tell you. On your left arm, you're gonna come from the front. You're gonna come from outside, arm, lock washer, nut. Toward the back, you're coming this way now, to the left. So you're going from the bracket, flat washer, arm, lock washer, nut. And that's what you end up with right there. Next step, you're gonna go to the part 1B hardware kit. Take out all these. You're gonna need these 2 brackets, and they're gonna attach to right here, to the tow bar. These are clevis bolts. As you can see on the bottom is a square base with a flat washer, if you wanna call it that. You're gonna take that, and you're gonna take the lock washer. This is a nylon lock washer. You see the nylon in there. You're gonna come from this angle You're going from going from the left to the right, like so. You're gonna make sure this square fits in the square notch. You're gonna put your lock washer in. Everything is hand tight for this step, okay? There's nothing on there. As you can see, it spreads open. The square notch fits inside, okay? You're gonna take 2 carriage bolts, the 2 bigger ones. You're gonna put them in the bracket. Can't mess this up, there's only one way to do it. And you're gonna come up from the bottom, and you're gonna sandwich it. This bolt in between these 2 right here, okay? Just like that. See? You're gonna come with your next plate, come up over the top. You're gonna take 2 lock washers, put one there, put one here. Take your 2 nuts, like so. Like so. And just catch it like so, okay? That's what you're gonna end up with. So this bolt is sandwiched by the 2 other bolts. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is tighten up this bolt right here in the middle using your 7/16 wrench. You're gonna snug that up all the way. Then you're gonna tighten these 2 bolts up all the way. That's what it looked like with the inside bolt snugged up all the way. Now you're gonna tighten these 2 bolts up all the way, okay? And it's gonna lock it into place right there. Now you're left with your clevis and pin. You're gonna come up from the bottom through this hole here. Put your clevis pin through the hole and lock it in with the pin. Next, you're gonna flip it over so that it's sitting on the tines and your tow bar is still pointing towards you. You're gonna get your hardware from the 2-way section, pop that out. You're gonna get this bracket. You're gonna take a bolt with a flat washer. Like so. You're gonna take this bracket with this little notch in here. Bracket goes lined up here on the tow bar. You want the bracket to sit on the inside. You're gonna take a bolt, put it through here. And you're gonna take the other bolt and put it through back there. This is what you're gonna end up with. You got your 2 bolts and flat washers. You got your bracket. You got your arm. You got your lock washer, nut, lock washer, nut. This points toward the back, and that's what you should get overall. Come back to your hardware kit. You're gonna take out this section, 2B. The one we just did was 2A, this is 2B, which is just a bolt, lock washer, and a nut. You're gonna take your bolt, put it through over here, going that way. Take your lock washer, put it on. Take your nut, put it on. We're almost done here. Next, you're gonna take your bracket for the wheels. You're gonna take your 2 wheels. You're gonna come to the hardware kit. This will be step 3A. 2 bolts, 4 flat washers, 2 nuts. Okay, next thing you're gonna wanna do is assemble your wheel assembly, which consists of the bolt, flat washer, tire, flat washer, nut. You're gonna tighten these up. You're gonna do it twice, tighten them up, and I'll show you how to mount them to the bracket next. Go to your hardware kit, panel 3B, take out your next two nuts. That's going to be used to mount the tire to the bracket. For a standard tractor ride height, 11 inches or less, you're going to want to use the hole that's closest to the elbow. As you can see, there's two holes here. If you're using an ATV or something taller, or a taller tractor that's greater than 11 inch, the height of the hitch, you can use this hole here, okay? So me, I'm just using my Cub Cadet. So this is what you're gonna end up with. Lower hole, closest to the elbow. And there's your nut. This is completely tight. You're gonna tighten this one up next. This is what it looks like completely assembled. I don't like this setup. I wish this wheel had a bearing inside so it could freely spin. Because if you tighten this too much, you bind up the wheels. So, all depending on how tight you make this, you can lock the wheels up, or you can have it so loose that this could eventually walk out, in my opinion. But, like I said, this ain't $1,000 piece of equipment. It ain't gonna have bearings in the wheels, so. Like I said, this one freely moves. This one I get, it's kind of snug, but we'll keep working at it until they both freely move. Next step, you're gonna wanna go to panel 4, take out your 2 bolts, 2 nuts. You're gonna take your tire assembly with the red label pointing to you, tow bar going to the front. You're gonna come underneath, you're gonna find this bracket with the hole in it. You're gonna put a bolt from the outside coming in. There's your arm, lock washer. Come to the left side, bolt coming in, going out, tire assembly, lock washer. Now you're gonna wanna tighten this up so you don't have no movement going side to side, but not so tight that it's stiff. You want it to have a little motion in it so you can raise and lower it up. See, I have it snug, but it moves freely. Okay, being that these are lock washers, they're not gonna back out. Okay, so you want this right here. You want it to move up and down, not binding. Okay, if you do it super tight, you won't be able to move this. Next, you're gonna take your control rod. You got your 90-degree elbow, and you have this slight curve to it. You're gonna take your elbow, coming from the back. There's your label. Left hole. You're gonna wanna come up through the hole, and you're gonna end up with this locked up in here, okay? I'll show you how it looks when I get it in. You're gonna rotate and twist up through. You can move the bar around. You'll see it. It's not hard. You're gonna come straight through. This is what you're gonna end up with. You want this piece to pretty much lock into here. It's gonna go underneath. You're gonna take your elbow, as you can see down there. This bar right here is your handle to set the height. And you want the elbow to come through the lower hole on this control bar, the black bar right here, your height adjustment bar, in that orientation. Then you're gonna line it up with this hole that you did in the previous steps, like so. Come to your hardware kit. You're gonna take out panel 5, 2 flat washers, nut, and this spring. You're gonna come to your handle. Here's your height setting. There's your long bolt with the nut attached. Flat washer, spring, flat washer, lock nut. Okay? You're gonna tighten up the inner nut. You're gonna tighten this up, but you don't want to over tighten that you're compressing the spring. You want the spring to still be able to move as you shift from heights. Okay? First, second, third height levels. After you have everything caught, you're gonna flip it over again. You're gonna tighten the bolts that hold the tow bar in place. From the first step, you're gonna tighten these down all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tighten them up fully. Flip the unit back over on the with the tines down, the adjustment height bracket, you got 1, 2. Tighten this down all the way. After you have everything tightened down, last step, you're gonna take out your handle, piece of rubber so you don't cut yourself, and just squeeze that in, mount it over your handle bracket, all the way till it's down. What you end up with. You got your tow bar, sandwich in between, like so. Your clevis pin to hold it in place. There's your first setting, which is used to transport it. So you're not doing nothing. The blade ain't touching the grass or the ground. 2 is for general dethatching of the grass. Okay? 3, this allows the tines to drag to the ground to scarify it. So basically you're making like a seed bed at that setting. That's the lowest setting. It's recommended to put bricks, cinder blocks to sit on top of here. Some people say they don't need it. This works as is. I got a couple bricks I'm gonna put on there and see what happens. This is what it looks like. First pass. They say for optimal performance, you're gonna wanna do it about 2 to 3 times. This is what you end up with. Dead grass that have been matted down over many, many inches of snow that we've had this year. Okay, I'm gonna do it a couple times, then I'm gonna bag it up. This is what you get after 2 passes. First pass, I went up and down. Second pass, left and right. Overlapping each time. There's a mountain of thatch that was just sitting in the yard. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna hit the front yard 2 times. Like I said, cross patch, left to right, up and down. And I'm gonna put my bagger back on, bag all this up, throw it in the woods. That's the first pass on half of the front yard, so it's gonna be a long day today. Thank God this stuff is light. So I'll show you the pile that I end up with. After doing about a half an acre, prepare yourselves to be filthy. I mean, super filthy. As you can see here, dust on dust on dust on dust. But the yard looks good. I'm gonna hit it now with the leaf blower, pick up whatever I didn't pick up and whatever leaves stayed around, and I'll show you the finished product. There it goes, fully done, dethatched, bagged with the bagger, and blown with the leaf blower. If you listen very faintly, you hear little grass people screaming in celebration. You hear them? Listen, listen. They're out there, and they're having the best time of their life. It's springtime for them too. That's the monster of a pile you end up with. Overall, that dethatcher is one of the best ones I ever used. Questions, comments, leave them below. I get back to everybody. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe, spread the word. Take care, fellas. Peace.